stout is like a beer sandwich. See, I'm drinking this now because I'm gonna punish myself later with the rest of this stuff. And I might as well enjoy it while I can. Cheers. Samuel Smith's Old Brewery Tadcaster, the celebrated oatmeal stout. Product of England. Now what's a Tadcaster? Tad too secretive for my taste. Also, check out this little guy. Kind of like getting my Superman hair on. Makes up for this over here. Hey everyone, hello and welcome to another episode of It's the Booze Talking. I'm your host, James Jacobson, and yeah, this is the first episode of the show so far where I'm actually not at home. I'm actually on the road for work in lovely, scenic Palmdale, California. You know, there's not a whole lot going on around here. I mean, bonus, it's pretty close to Los Angeles, and I've got some friends down there who I visited this weekend, so that was kind of cool. But in the town of Palmdale itself, there's not a whole lot going on. Now, the reason why my company sent me here is because they have some pretty amazing aerospace facilities, and that's the region of interest within which I work. But for the most part, this place is a desert, man. Like, there is no logical reason that human habitation should have occurred in this area. I mean, everything about it is pretty much built like a strip mall in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's funny because you see patches of lawn outside, and you can actually see the lawn coming up and sand coming out from underneath the like rolled out sod. I mean, it's that bad. Kind of reminds me of that scene from Beetlejuice where they're like inside the model of the town and they kind of pull up the plastic grass and you see like the newspaper and cardboard boxes and stuff underneath. Palmdale was originally a German settlement from farmers of the Midwest heading west towards the ocean. Now their goal was to actually make it all the way to the coast and establish a colony there, but as local legend has it, these farmers, which were mostly of German and Swiss descent, were told that they would be close to the ocean when they saw palm trees. German and Swiss farmers of the 1860s had no idea what a palm tree was. They'd never seen them before. And so when they came to an area known as the Antelope Valley that had these strange looking trees around, they were like, these must be palm trees, we're here. Welcome to Palmdale. Now what you may have already guessed is that there are actually no palm trees indigenous to Palmdale. The trees that they thought were palm trees were actually Joshua trees, which are basically like really nasty desert trees. They're like really spiky. I mean, they're almost a cactus. So like I said, these farmers came to the Antelope Valley and they established a colony called Palmdale, and within 20 years had hunted and killed out all the indigenous antelope in the Antelope Valley. But none of these farmers actually knew anything about growing crops in the desert, and so within 20 years they pretty much had to abandon everything and move the settlement closer to the Southern Pacific Railroad tracks, where they were able to survive for a little while until World War II, when this area became a center for the aerospace industry. You've got Boeing and Lockheed facilities here. Skunks Works is here. The very famous Air Force Plant 42 is here, where famous aircraft like the SR-71 Blackbird were flight tested in this area. So, you know, interesting history overall, and not surprising that it might drive some to drink. Now, some changes to my normal format. I don't have my blood alcohol meter with me today, so we're just gonna have to guess how drunk I'm getting, though I don't think we're gonna be that disappointed. Also, in combination with my regular portion of the show, where I find bad questions from people I know or the internet, I'm also going to be sort of taste testing new alcohols, the alcohols that I've never tried before in my life. Now, obviously, they're all going to be spirits, but they're brands or flavors of spirits that I've never tried before. So we're gonna get into that in just a second. Actually, we should probably get into that now. I have no idea what level of punishment I'm going to be enduring later, so I might as well enjoy this now, right? It's kind of like the cigarette before the firing squad. You know, usually when I'm in the field, I work a pretty hectic schedule, but thankfully, I actually got a couple days off this weekend, and so I was able to go down to Los Angeles, visit some friends of mine. We went to a show at a place called the R Bar, and I could not tell you where the place was. A business card for the R Bar that I grabbed on the way out. So the R Bar, you can see right here. No, there we go. Yeah, they had good music, good drinks. I mean, the atmosphere was pretty cool. It's a great place to hang out. If I lived around here, I'd probably hang out there more often. Got to meet some folks from a bunch of different bands, including a singer and guitarist from the band Velcro. Look it up. You can see I'm filming in my hotel room. Art on the wall, lush green ranch-style homes, which definitely do not exist locally. That's right, so yesterday, before the adventures at the R Bar, we went to this place and it was called, oh, that's not right. This place called Franklin and Company, which is like a bar and pub over near Franklin Street in Hollywood. And they actually had really good food, and they had a bunch of drink deals. I actually had it was an Arnold Palmer with vodka in it, which is really funny because I'm pretty sure that the reason why the Arnold Palmer is called the Arnold Palmer is because he would drink the iced tea and lemonade combination in lieu of drinking a cocktail while he was golfing because he was an alcoholic. They should really call it like the anti-Arnold Palmer. There, you know, we had some really good food. I had some fish and chips. And one of my friends, Bill, he had a Scotch egg. It's a soft boiled egg wrapped in sausage and then deep fried. The most unhealthy avocado you've ever seen. All right, so I have 6 different kinds of alcohol that I have never tried before. Focus is called Agua de Bolivia. And it says here, it's advertised as coca herbal liqueur. I can only imagine that it was brewed using coca leaves, which, funnily enough, is where cocaine comes from. Let's see, first initial reactions, it comes in a plastic bottle. Never a good sign. It smells kind of like toothpaste, like really herby toothpaste. It's kind of a pale green color. It's rather thick. It kind of reminds me a lot of almost like a absinthe or a chartreuse, only with like melon flavor kind of at the end. I don't actually taste very much coca in there, so okay. While I'd probably never willingly go buy this again, I certainly would not turn it down if it were offered to me. So it says Agua de Bolivia, but it also says here crafted in Amsterdam. Those of you who know your geography will know that Amsterdam and Bolivia are nowhere even close to each other. Next, Baronjager. You can see there, little bear, scary German bear, a log that appears to be some kind of elaborate trap, beehive from this fellow back here who looks sort of like the Pied Piper. That's good. Initial reaction, glass bottle, so better sign. It smells very strongly of honey. We're gonna wash this cup out first. Again, it's a very thick liqueur, like very syrupy, and in fact, looking at it, I can tell that the little water droplets that were inside of the glass are of a far different viscosity than the rest of the alcohol. It reminds me of actually honey, like a really thin honey or maple syrup. It smells good. It smells very strong. There's definitely the honey and like kind of like an industrial solvent type smell. Oh, it's quite pleasant. I can definitely see myself putting some of this in like a cup of tea when I was sick. When you feel a little bit better? I'm already starting to feel a little bit better. Baron-Jager, I hardly know her. We should probably answer some questions about this time and then come back to the booze tasting.